Jump right into the action here, kicking it off with Cypher, as he is the lead-off attacker, which could mean that they trust his attack skills a little bit more than, or not necessarily a little bit more, but he's a reliable attacker. Your first attacker is your go-to guy, and Cypher right now missing a couple shots, but only by a couple centimeters.
He's spamming this spawn port right now, man. He wants to get some damage in, but
just can't seem to connect.
He's going to come around to the left-hand side. I was so surprised. You know, a lot of players actually just immediately try to get into position, but he was like, he threw about 4 or 5 shots there down the spawn lane.
Yep, and now Cypher here, you know, could not seem to connect with that laser over by the L fence. Great positioning there by the defense. Goal is about to come alive in about 1 second. Cypher going to be up on the spawn here. Tries to at least get one. He's going to miss it again. And now S7's just going to have the pressure on him, but S7 does get taken out. Goal is going to be live with 6 seconds remaining. And Cypher gets tagged by the King.
The guy you were saying you have faith in, man. So
he's a great player.
He does it there.
Millenium has been good. I definitely don't want to take anything away from Millenium, but their talented team, Lacame, is a very, very good player. Obviously, getting second place at IPL6 with Fnatic. But the thing about Millenium is, I feel like other teams are just a little bit further ahead of them right now than. And also the other thing too is because they came into it a little late as well. They joined the whole craziness after IPL5, so they've been playing before, but I guess the time hasn't been put into it. I've been seeing a lot more Millenium after IPL5, and perhaps they're finally seeing like, hey, this is a game that we need to be competing in. So, hey, you know, we'll see what happens. But
Cypher wraps that round up with a triple tap. Now Millenium, Lacame's going to be coming out.
And Cypher actually disconnected from the game, but that's okay. The game is just going to continue on from the point right now because this doesn't really affect
He's not a defender, yeah.
This doesn't affect the defenders at all. And we'll just go into a little warm-up real fast. But based off what I'm seeing here, it seems like Millenium is just playing a very different change of pace in comparison to Fnatic, what we saw earlier.
This is a tough map, man. It's really tough to get in the right position. But
it is, especially with the way that a lot of the players have been complaining about the fences. Not complaining, but saying, like, you know, fences should be a little reduced, perhaps. I mean, I think that fences add a little bit to the game as well. You know, it's funny, that grapple hook's there, and you just never see it. I just haven't seen it in a while. All right, so we got Cypher back into the action here, and he should be kicking things off once again.
Yeah, nobody's ever taken that attack path. It's almost like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's tough because you have to basically just move so well, and if you mess up, you know, the room for error is pretty high. So let's see what we got here. The King attacking for Epsilon, and it will be 2-1 with the guys from Epsilon having the lead right now. But it's been a defensive game, to say the least. Pretty even spread for Epsilon.
Yeah.
While on the other side, there's Cypher doing the bulk of the work on that first round that they got.
I'm going to call it right now, man. We've had 2 2-0s. I'm going to say this one is a 2-1.
2-1? Yeah. It very well could be. You know, I'm not seeing... it almost feels like both teams are just trying to get a feel for one another right now, which is what I'm gathering here.
It's actually a really good point, yeah.
So neither team is... going to be dominating at this point in time. The King missing that shot though around the corner. Cypher hitting 2. Cypher hitting 3. That will be 6 rockets now that Cypher has hit for his team. So he's pretty much just been the defensive standout here.
He really has.
Quite surprisingly, and I don't expect any less from a player of his caliber. So let's go ahead and jump on board with Keeper here, as he will be attacking on the left side. You know, you were mentioning before, Andrew, that sometimes players just don't go for that right or not at all. They just ignore it. And that's just the case because it's a safer route to just go left.
Yeah,
Safe
you know,
to go left.
The defenders have such a good position towards the right-hand side. So if you come in through that way, it's a little bit, you got to be very tenuous in how you approach it. But, of course, you do have the high ground. So it's just interesting that everybody has been opting to take this position instead. Maybe a little less coverage overall. 3 players right now spread. Nobody at the capture point L fence there.
Yep, as we are going to have the goal about to become active with 15 seconds being added to the clock. Goal is live. Keeper's going to move into the goal post. Can he get it? And he does with 1 armor remaining. Now, here's the thing about that, Andrew.
Yep.
One,
saw it too.
Whenever you have 3 armor, there shouldn't be a reason if nothing has worked out for you, if things are just going absolutely abysmal, you're not getting any shots. The best thing that you could possibly do is just go in there with 3 armor. If you're in a 3 armor situation, even with 3 defenders, you probably could make it happen because the defenders may not even expect it. You know, on top of which, if you go with 3 armor with 2 defenders, that's an even higher chance of you getting it.
What was so cool that he did there, instead of, you know, when he got onto the capture point, players were actually shooting ahead of him.
Yeah.
And they were hitting the sides because they expected him to move some. And some people shot at him. He jumped. He stood perfectly still and he just jumped. And so if you tried to anticipate him at all, it was so cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing about this game. That's why it's very unique in how it approaches, you know, the dynamic of multiplayer games. Because, you know, most games it's like, yeah, there's rockets do splash damage. Well, not in this game. Rockets just knock you side to side. They have to hit you directly to affect you. And oftentimes this affects how you attack the goal. You know, which we've seen before, because attackers would go after it and they'll get jumped around back and forth, and they can end up, you know, benefiting them in the end. So defenders just need to be careful. But I'm rambling here as Cypher just had a great shot on the right side. Now he's going to be facing off one defender on the L fence.
I like that he's focusing on the important targets and not necessarily the close ones. 12 seconds left until the point is capturable. S7 with the position here on this fence. Cypher not going to take the shot. Holds onto it.
Yep. And he had the recharge there building up. Cypher losing another armor here. 1v2, 1 armor remaining. Now 1v1, 1 armor remaining, as it will be Cephas versus Cypher. And Cypher is going to be hanging around by this cubby. He's going to have 4 seconds to make something happen here. Creeping around the corner, moving around to the goal. Can he get it? No, he does! Wow. He gets it at the 0 second. Amazing play by Cypher, making it 5-2. And now Cephas is going to be attacking. He has to be kicking himself for that one.
That was incredibly well played out of Cypher. And actually, that duel, was it between Cephas and Cypher?
Yes.
So after being shook up after that loss, let's see if Cephas can redeem himself for Epsilon.
They're going to need to. Yep. They need to do something, because no attack rounds to 2 attack rounds, it's not good. It's not good at all.
All right.
Quick question. Wasn't Stefano, didn't he used to be on that team?
Yeah, man. Millenium is you know, they had a little bit of a StarCraft roster going on with Stefano being their keynote player, if you will.
Okay. Because I remember hearing Bill Stefano.
Yeah, he was on Millenium. It was actually the first really big team that he was ever on.
Okay, cool. I was like, because I know I've heard Millenium. I just wanted to double check.
Yep, you're completely right.
That my esports knowledge was all there. So we've had no long-range shots today, which has been quite surprising. Usually once per broadcast, we get one crazy 127-meter shots. But what we've been getting more has been these very intense, fast-paced plays that have been developing in this entire broadcast at this point in time. So hopefully everyone's enjoying it. And if you haven't had a chance to follow the Shootmania Twitch channel, please do. The follow button's at the top left corner. And a great shot by Lakame on Cephas.
All right, so he's actually just going to loop around and do the exact same thing all over once again. Coming up. Oh, what a shot! That was beautiful with just ahead up here. And there it is.
Dirty.
Cleaned up by Lakame.
All 3 players of Millenium have attack rounds under their hood at this point in time. Good stuff there. And now it is going to be the King trying to do something. This is it almost seems like it's a losing battle for this team at this point. You know, Epsilon, they've been competing for so long in Shootmania with this roster, as a matter of fact.
That was a shot, though.
Haven't been able to put anything together. Good shot, though, by the King, as you pointed out, Kibbles. Now it is going to be a 2v1, 1 armor remaining.
I don't know, though, man. He was coming out steamrolling, and then he just got tagged twice in a row, so this is going to be very difficult for the King. But, you know, you got faith in him, man. He's definitely shown himself to be a strong player. We'll see. He's so open here as he's doing this little dance-off. Oh, nice shot there. And now it's a one-on-one with 1 armor with the high ground position. The King, 2 seconds remaining till he can cap the point, but he can't really gun his way for it. A lot of rockets were actually just shot off. Cypher and the King dancing off right now. Who's going to prove themselves? King, 7 seconds remaining.
This is it. Expect him to jump on there.
Oh!
Wow. Great shot by the King. Putting his team, you know, I would say a little bit into this game, giving them the motivation to take an attack round win. Now, Keeper, if he gets this round, would be disastrous for Millenium. but disastrous for, Epsilon.
Yeah.
Very beneficial for Millenium. If the instance that they do not get this,
if we got a kill there.
Yeah, I was stumbling on my words because you see four rockets being shot by lasers. You can't help but take notice, right?
Yeah.
That's so funny. And Keeper does lose one armor here, one defender by the L wall, one guy by the right side. Cephas is going to make his presence felt on the left side, applying that very much needed pressure for the attacker. Keeper can't do anything, and he's trying to get his bearings together here. This is a pretty intense situation for Keeper to be in because he could give his team game one with this, but he cannot. It's going to defense here.
Yep. So Epsilon S7's turn to try to tie things up. He needs to take this for his team. They are up against the ropes at this time. He's waiting a long time to line up this shot, but nothing going to present itself, so now he'll step forward.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny because, we said it at the beginning that haven't seen many long-distance shots. It's been just ignored, I would say. And what is this young man doing? I'm quite interested to see this. He seems like he's trying to get on top of the map, which would have been a crazy spot for him to be in.
Yeah.
But S7 just couldn't seem to do it. Probably going for something that we don't know about. He's just going to get hit by one rocket from Cypher. His Keeper taking a seat there. Came with one.
One armor remaining. Cypher is going to get the kill.
Let's just take a look at Cypher's stats here real fast. 11 defensive rockets landed, 1 attack round win, and he has the potential to end the game right here.
He has almost as many rocket hits as the entire Epsilon team.
Yeah, he's short for like, what, 2?
2.
Yeah, so that's insane. And that just speaks to the skill of Cypher here.
And 2 triple taps.
Yeah, he had 2 triple taps in a row, as a matter of fact, for 2 defensive rounds in a row. So he was sitting at, pole position when it comes to defense.
There it is.
Nice shot
by
by
Cypher. He was so
Cypher.
patient.
Wow. And,
almost hits that.
Yeah, but you know what, though? He does trade, so this isn't going to be the best possible situation for Cypher to be in. Pressure being applied by the speed pad there. Cypher had to drop back over to the goalpost. Right past it, goal's about to become active. Cypher knows he might have the advantage here just because of how well he's playing. He feels confident, but misses that laser at the bottom there. One defender by the goal fence. Losing an armor.
Tagged. 2-on-1, 1 armor remaining. Cypher, is he going to be able to take it? Flanking right now on S7. Takes him out, but the finish. Therefore, actually, was that the King? I don't see it in chat. I think the King was the one who was left alive.
I believe so as well. But here's the crazy part about that one, Kibbles, that I think is quite hilarious. That
I think I'm wrong with Cephas.
If he had maybe a half second or a full second, there was a very strong possibility that Cypher could have gotten that round.
By capping the point?
By capping the point, yeah. Or even gotten the laser to recharge, actually, because the laser recharged right at the 0 point. But great shot by Cephas, trying to keep his team in the game here. They need this attack round, or else Millenium will take game number 1 in this best of 3 for our quarterfinals. Winner will move on to the semis. Let's see what Cephas is going to do.
All right, so he's kind of just hanging under this cap point fence right now, but with 5 seconds remaining, the defenders have to make sure they take it. Cypher is going to get aggressive, close the distance. He is being double teamed right now really hard, but a nice shot on Lacame, and now it is Cypher versus Cephas, 1-on-1. If Cypher takes this, his team wins. Will he be able to do it? Being very patient with his rockets, but a nice shot from Cephas is going to close it out, and Cypher unable to make the clutch play.
Now Lacame needs to answer back here, man. I'm telling you, you can't let a team gain momentum. That is the #1 destroyer of any kind of team game. As soon as someone gets momentum, they play completely different. They play like men on a mission, and that's what's going on right here. Cypher just couldn't seem to put it together. Now it's going to be Lacame's turn to do something. Creeping around the corner, finding someone over by the L fence. Rockets right behind him. Good movement, though, by Lacame. He doesn't double back all the way to the grass. He decides to hang, by the goal area as best as he could, knowing that defenders are going to be around the right portion of the map, though. It's S7 with 1 hit on Lacame. 2v2, 2 armor remaining.
Yeah, Lacame kind of forgot about the player who was standing up at spawn there, S7. And so S7 got a shot off on him there. 2 armor, as you said. 2 armor versus 2 players, actually narrowly missing S7.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure being applied too from the defense here. Good crossing by the King with the tap, as now Lakim is going to be in a bad spot here. He needs to make his way over to the goal and get stopped on the attack. So now this is going to be it. This is big.
Yep.
This is big.
It's huge.
Because Epsilon could have very well climbed their way back up into this game here. Let's see what the positioning for the defense is going to be. And it seems like we're going to have one player going over to the top bridge or catwalk.
Cypher would more typically be either over on this lower L fence that you're seeing in the center of your screen or a little bit further left. Instead, two players, they're playing very heavy on the right now. King is going to have to keep his focus there. I wonder if he's going to get flanked by the player from spawn. I believe it's S7. No, S7's still hanging out up on that high ground, but he could easily jump down. Oh, that's actually Lakim. He could jump down at some point when the King is a little too hyper-focused here on Cypher and S7.
Yeah, I do like the position, by the way, by the keeper, on the bridge, because the reason is that his teammates, you know, Millenium, whoever that is playing the bridge, he has to have communication from his teammates. It's actually going to be keeper, like you had said, and now the goal is going to be active, and that will be it. Millenium takes game number 1. So close, but not enough.
Well, I just want to point out that Lakim actually got the victory shot there, and what had happened, you know, it was that hyper focus. He was watching Cypher, watching Keeper, as literally as you were saying, it was Keeper. That is when Lakim was jumping down from spawn. He came onto the low ground, and he straight up just shot him in the face as he turned to look.
Yeah, it was a very good play, very good way to mix it up. They knew that it really wasn't working before, so perhaps they just gave it another whirl. All right, guys, we're going to jump to a short break. We're going to be right back with game number 2 in the IPL Shootmania EU Qualifier number 2. It's the quarterfinals.